Well, guys, it's Sunday, and I would really like to get those floor timbers bolted onto the frames. However, our illustrious Postal Service once again sucks at life. On the 25th of September, was accepted in Newport, Rhode Island. Newport, Rhode Island, I'm on Cape Cod. It should take a day and a half to get here via the Postal Service. No, 25th, it's now the 28th. And last night, my package that was bound northeast towards Cape Cod from Rhode Island is now at the South New Jersey USPS Distribution Center. Why are my bolts going southwest instead of northeast? Do better at life, USPS. God. Hey guys, what's up? It's a beautiful Wednesday afternoon, October 1st. Temperatures are cooling off, and I couldn't be happier. I love this time of year. It's my favorite time of year here. Anyway, we're back on the boat. Work was stalled out because I was awaiting a shipment of bolts from Fairwind Fasteners. Great company to work with. I have no complaints about them. By the way, I'm not affiliated or sponsored by them. They just have, honestly, the best prices on silicon bronze. They're actually cheaper than McMaster Carr, which is surprising, but it is what it is, and it's a good thing. They're in Rhode Island. I'm on Cape Cod. They're maybe 100 miles away from where I'm at. I ordered these things like a full week ago. And it wasn't Fairwind, it was the Postal Service. I'm watching the tracking history. First of all, it takes them forever to accept the package. And then it finally gets accepted. In transit to the next location, I'm like, whoa, yeah, it's gonna start heading my way. This is like last Thursday. No, it doesn't start heading my way. It starts heading south. By like Sunday, it's at the South New Jersey USPS Distribution Center. Stays there for a couple days, gets turned around, gets sent to Philadelphia, whereupon it turns around and comes back, and we just got my bronze today. So, we've got our bronze bolts. We can fasten in these floor timbers now. This is gonna be cool. So, join me. I think we'll start with F2 here. So what I'm gonna do, I know the elevation of these floors is a little bit wonky, but you know, it's an old boat's kind of like an old house. You know, nothing's particularly perfect. And I'm not striving for perfection. I just want to sail this old tub sometime in the not too distant future. Oh yeah, and by the way, seeing as how I got some money now, I went and bought myself all the supplies I need to redo the dinghy. So I'll show you that in the future. That's gonna be a cool project. Probably just do like a little sub-series on that. That's actually something I could bring down in the basement potentially and work on over the winter. So, and you know, that'll be cool. That'll give me a little workable boat. Let's do this. All right, first step here. I'm gonna take a old level here. This thing's old too. It's Mark R. That was my uncle. He's no longer with us. He was a good dude. I liked his cigarettes and booze though. Ultimately did him in. So we're just gonna maybe I'll get a hammer. So I'm just gonna try to knock down these big old rivet thingies. I hear things falling down below. Probably just cut that crap off of there. I'm doing that anyway. I feel like running the cells all right now though. Yeah, that's good contact on either side. So we're just getting a baseline level, and this is pretty standard on all these floors that I've seen. The boat is sitting just ever so slightly listing to port. What I'm aiming for on all of these should be plain, relatively flat, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. It's ever so slightly off to, so I like where this one's setting. That'll have to do. I got this gizmo off Amazon, right angle drill chuck. That was like 20 bucks. Not too bad. All right, so the old floors had two bolts, one here, okay, right there. So, I don't know, like about right there and about right here. All right, so in order to get this thing to fit in here, it still doesn't fit in there very freaking well. So I have to miss my rivets. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of all right, and that should give a little divot on the frame. Yeah, interestingly, we have a butt joint over here, but not on the corresponding plank on the other side. Up until now, they've been relatively symmetrical side to side. Interesting. Nice. Now I had to modify this drill bit quite obviously. My little hack job drill bit grinding worked fairly well. Nice. So, in theory, I can undo that clamp and take this away, and I'll have pilot marks to be able to drill the holes through the frame. Frames. 2, plural frames. Really, no reference marks at all. Nothing. Okay. What the hell? Alright, so I'm going to take my little mini drill bit, and I'm going to use that as a punch. Okay, now we should have pilot marks. Are you kidding me? Reclamp it back down, and I am going to smack the crap out of this. See, there's nothing there. Why can nothing just be simple? Well, that's friggin' why. It's not drilled through. Okay. I'm gonna win on this one, then I'm gonna go in for dinner. Why don't I get the ones which are a known quantity drilled out first? Okay. 25 minutes of just doing that. Great. Why are you not going in your hole, ball? Why is our friggin' hole in the wrong place? Alright, I'm gonna go eat dinner. Maybe I'll come back to this tonight. Maybe not. We'll see. Alright guys, so off camera I got these bolted on. I got that drilled into there just to mark it. And I chased the hole for that one. Maybe I can just get it to go in, hopefully. I really don't feel like drilling another hole. Of course not. Well, I gotta take these off anyway. Rigged up a little right angle contraption for the driver. Oh, I'll have to show you guys some of the wood from these old floor timbers. It has remarkably open end grain. Yeah, this boat was never built with a thought that it might last as long as it has. It's being rebuilt with that thought. Let's see, are we gonna get lucky here? You know, you don't have to be this way. What? Freaking out. Why do simple things insist on not being simple? Okay, more this one I'll do. Yeah. Oh yeah. I tell you folks, we're winning bigly today. First you don't succeed, find a bigger hammer. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Thinking more about this, I don't really need to put the lock washers on just yet, because I'm gonna be taking these back out before this is all over with. Yeah! Okay, well, it's getting late. I'm gonna go inside. And after work tomorrow, I'll be back at it. And it's only gonna get faster and more efficient, but you got to watch the first one. Back again for another day. So the plan is to start drilling with the angle drill in the short stubby bit. And then I'll take that out and I'll take the full-size bit and sink it down into the hole. And then hopefully I can grab it with the chuck, the angle chuck, and drill all the way through. We'll see if that actually pans out. That looks good. And these, this is all gonna get bedded with Sikaflex at the end of all of this, before we start putting the cabin in. But for right now, we're just putting them in play in situ. And obviously they're gonna have to come off again when we drop the keel. So that ended up being a little bit cockeyed. So now, oh yeah. We are through. Yes, I do believe that this is the tactic that should work. Actually, all right, so I think I'm just gonna do like, All right, going very smoothly. I'm fitting this floor with my nice old Miller's Falls number 900 block plane. I believe I read they produce these from like the 30s up through like the 80s, I want to say. Made right here in Massachusetts, back when we actually made stuff in Massachusetts. I already shaved this down a good bit. I want to go down a little bit further until I get below this saw cut line here. I don't know if you can see that. We're just going to get down below that, and we're just lowering this side of it to match the hull and just level everything out to a reasonable degree. I mean, this doesn't have to be perfect by any means. Now, it might seem like this isn't doing much, but we're getting good shavings. It's just that we're cutting across white oak end grain, so you're not going to get nice, beautiful shavings like this. That was pitch pine. You know, I could be using my Bosch power plane. It's quicker. But honestly, it's like 6 o'clock, and I don't really feel like making a lot of noise or putting on ears and eyes and respirator. We're down below that. Not perfect, but not bad. Yeah! All right, guys. With that, we have 5 brand new, beautiful white oak floor timbers installed down in the bilge of old Maverick here. All right, guys. Well, that's about it. Went ahead and retired the Husqvarna 435, made a significant upgrade to a Stihl MS250. Far superior saw. Not bad for under 200 bones all said and done. This thing's gonna get a lot of use. So we have a bit of a divot in the plank there. We got a bit of fresh cedar there. So we're just gonna knock some of the high spots off in there. When we go to epoxy the lozenges on this frame up here, we'll just smear some epoxy in there and glue in a new piece. So about halfway under this frame, it runs into this scarf joint, which is a good stopping point. We'll just gob some epoxy in there. And then before we go and caulk the boat, we'll come in with the multi-tool and various other things and clear the epoxy out so we can jam the caulking in there. Bingo, bango, bazingo, bazango. All right, so this whole thing, so that's 7 inches. Okay, so now this guy is shaped like that. So at the deepest point, that's just under 1/2 inch. I don't know where the hell my square is, but we're just gonna... All right, I'm gonna go cut that out. All right. This will do. All right, I do believe that's good. I'll use a couple of these pretty little 1-inch bronze screws. So now I have to go get the outside of the boat all taped up, but I'm not going to subject you to that. So interesting, I just pulled a block that was up here out, and I heard a metallic clanking. A spoon. This is where the galley was. So they must have had like a silverware storage thing up here, and it slid down and got caught up on top of the block that was in there. The things you find. So, got everything taped up. You can see the blue behind the lozenge pockets. So, now that I've got a whole bunch of cedar coming and I have a good resource for more if I need it, I don't have to be as stingy with planking wood. So, this second plank here is going to get trashed all the way. There's a butt block somewhere back behind that bulkhead. And this whole plank here, this runs out into a butt block. It doesn't look too horrible from the inside, but on the outside, I assure you, it is roached. So we're going to take that. That's mahogany going forward. So we're going to splice in back here. And this one you can see here, got a bunch of wood sheared off of it. It's just kind of spongy and junky. So that's probably going to get cut somewhere back in here. And, you know, novel idea, put an X on the planks you don't want to keep. That way you know that you don't want to keep those planks and you don't work them and put fasteners in them like me. Smat. Wicked smat. Glad I don't have that accent even though I grew up outside of Boston. This thing is all check-a-doodle-dude. So I'm going to have to come in from the other side and fill that with penetrating epoxy. Yeah, this thing is, I don't think it's terribly structural because you have the beam shelf right on top. And we're going to be putting in bilge stringers on either side. So if that's a little funky, I don't really care. It's mostly sound, save for a few areas. We've reinforced the absolute living crap out of both of these with scarf joints over the other scarf joints. It's scarfception. That plank, and then there's another plank up here that are mahogany planks that I believe are totally salvageable. And those are just fastened in with Phillips head stainless screws. So it shouldn't be too hard to debung those and pull those planks off entirely so we can put them back on when the time comes. But I want to to be doing this, we really kind of have to have access to the outside of the boat on the back of these stringers and the beam shelves. So something to do tomorrow. It's October 23rd. Before we know it, it'll have been 2 years since I got this boat, which is crazy, but is what it is. Story must go on. So tomorrow is Friday. Have no real plans for the weekend. It's going to be fairly nice. On the very lower end of epoxying weather, but I've applied this stuff in 40 some degree weather and it just takes forever to cure, but it does cure. You gotta do what you gotta do. I've got the frames made. I've got the lozenges all fabricated. That bandsaw is excellent. Makes things so much more efficient when you're not bogging down the engine when you're cutting 5/4 softwoods. I want to tear into this thing. I'm actually excited to do that. There's still some coolant in there, I know. We gotta drain the oil. I gotta look up a schematic on this thing. And then once we get it outside, make up some like 4x4 frame for it or something, and do a Will It Run video on the Volvo Penta 2003 series, which the entire internet seems to hate. If I can get it running, we're gonna roll with it, because I don't see you guys buying me a new engine, and I certainly can't afford one, so that's what we get for now. Unless I can find a used one for short money that's in more operable condition. But I don't know. I don't know if this is in operable condition or not. I've never tried to start it. I don't think it's seized, because we were able to rotate the propeller when that was coupled up. There's a good chance it'll run. I think it was winterized. I never until the other day pulled the dipstick, Jimmy. That oil looks good. I don't see any milkiness or any evidence of water in there. So that bodes well for it. The sun has set. It is 6 p.m. I think there might be some tacos inside waiting for me. So I will catch you guys tomorrow. We're going to be working outside the boat on getting those mahogany planks off. Yeah, we're not going to hack those up. We're going to pull them off and we're going to reuse them. We can. Anyway, I'm going inside. I'm going to eat dinner. Bye. Hey there, guys. We're removing this port side shear strip. Let's do it. I got a bunch of the screws debugging to remove last night. I got the rub rail off. Only got a few left here. Starting on the end, I'm going to move the ladder, the last two, pop it out. Screws going into the stem or have no bite to them. Stem looks pretty bad from up here. Position the ladder. I got a couple more here. Sikaflex there covering up that bung. Good thing about these mahogany planks is they're just fastened with stainless, so these will be largely reusable and be able to just drive bronze screws in the same holes that the stainless ones are in. They all seem in relatively decent condition. And if there was glue holding these bungs in, it's gone now. Hopefully this thing doesn't fall off and try to take me out. climb up on there and hold that thing so it doesn't go careening over.
Should I wiggle it?
Yeah. Oh, whoa.
Gnarly.
Well, I gotta show you guys this. All right, so as I was telling her, I got the sistered frames down here. Look at that. Look how torched that is. You know, we got, I don't even know what that is. Like 5200 or something. This stuff here looks like they made a new block out of locust. That's a big wasted steel fastener. That's the thing that secures this assembly. Man. Yeah. Yeah, this is all torched. It's interesting, we got our beam shelf cut off right here, which is in good condition all the way down there. So we're gonna have to scarf new one onto that so it can join back up to the stem assembly. I think I'm gonna get that stand up underneath here just because we're deleting. I think as this stands right now, these planks were a bit structural. Oh man. You can see how big some of these deck beams are. I ordered stock to remake those in the original size. Interesting. This is a big locust block. All carved out there, recessed to fit over the beam shelf, I think. Yeah, it's solid. Sunk a steel fastener through it. Lovely. Right, so we're gonna start debunging those remaining top two. Yeah, we're doing that so we can get access to the whole beam shelf and the whole stringer all the way down. I think we'll just work forward at this point. We'll tackle the stern later because there's a structural bulkhead on the starboard side going back, and then you got the engine, you got the aft bulkhead coming down, which is a solid contiguous piece from the cabin, the aft cabin wall down, segmenting it off to the aft compartment. Spinning on that skin. Alright, I'm gonna go up there with the pry bar and pry these off. One down, one to go. God, the deck is so rotten up here. There's like a friggin' 1/8 inch of this stupid black enamel paint on here. Why the hell would you paint a wooden boat black? I don't know what they were thinking during this boat's time as Pomare. First, the one section where the paint is not bubbling off, it's the section that has hiding fasteners. You know, I could get a heat gun. Freaking paint. Been having pretty damn good luck seeing the bungs through the paint, but on this plank, in this section, I really should just get some chemical stripper and just strip this whole hull down. But I'm lazy. There are like 5 coats of this paint on here. That is just... why? This is like enamel or a steel boat. Okay. That's it. Except for in that freaking section. There's that screw. My God. What a friggin' mess. Broke this chunk off. It's beautiful. Alright, let's guys up and take a look at this. This is wondrous. So we blew this chunk out of this plank. How does this go? That. I can just epoxy that back in. It'll be fine. To behold, the bow timbers. Shiver the timbers. Okay, so here in all its glory. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. There's an old steel fastener. Man. Oh, look. That was a giant bolt holding this whole thing together. Man. Man. Oh. Even the sistered frames are just dry rotted to shit. Of course, they went and they put galvanized bolts in. I mean, at least they didn't even put RLP on all of the surfaces. So they put it over here, which preserved that side, but they didn't put it on the outboard side of the new frame, and look at it, it's all dry rotted. Oh man. Well, thankfully we're rebuilding this thing. So it's not any worse than what we've dealt with from like somewhere in here aft, but I'll take you down and go up that ladder and see that over there too. We'll get this off. So nothing on any of this is any worse than what I've already been dealing with further aft. It's just interesting to just uncover some of the work that's been done on this. All right, anyway, we now have full access to this area, which is kind of the entire point of all of this. And we have access to that area all the way forward. When I go to take the next set of frames out, I'll pull the same stuff off of the other side. But right now, it's not in the way of me redoing these frames, so that can wait. All right. Well, hello there, guys. That was a hell of an episode, wasn't it? I thought so. I thought that was a pretty good one. And if you thought so too, go ahead and smash that like button down below. Leave a comment. And if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. It costs you nothing and helps boost the channel and the algorithm. And that's the most important thing with the YouTube channel, the algorithm. If it don't notice you, you don't get any traction. Like the last video. Check that out if you haven't seen it either. That one did horribly. But I released it right in the middle of the World Series game, so I guess me being completely out of touch with things like sports kind of led to that video's poor performance. Anyway, there will be a link right down here somewhere that you can click on that afterwards and go watch that video, because that one was pretty good too. But anyway, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching my channel where I'm rebuilding this boat, this crazy project to rebuild a wooden boat piece by piece, do things like put new floor timbers in and do all the other cool stuff we do, all the frames and whatnot. So this video, this was basically the summation of my activities on Maverick from early October all the way through the end of October. Anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed it. If you want to help this project monetarily, the one way I have to do that right now is Patreon. There's a link down below. Please go check it out. You can check it out and you can subscribe for free, but if I ever post any bonus content over there, you're not going to get it unless you're paid. So whatever, it's kind of a cricket fest over there, and always has been, but whatever, that's all right. If you guys want to pick yourself up some wonderful Total Boat products, such as this 5-to-1 traditional epoxy that's good down to 40 degrees. Really helpful if you live in a northerly climate like me and you're doing a lot of epoxy work in low temperatures. Go ahead and click that affiliate link down below. That's not a sponsorship, that's an affiliate program. So basically you click on that link, and when you go to check out from the page that you get to from clicking to that link, you'll get 5% off, and it'll kick back a little percentage to Maverick for the ongoing repairs and rebuild and restoration. So anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you stick around. Thank you for being here, and I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.